All right, and we are live. You're actually not on the stream, so you're welcome. But I am double streaming to Discord now, so. All right. Coding. Working on web components. Just personal projects. Any day of the week. Whoa, that was fucking weird. Oh no, I just totally screwed it. Let's do this. Rip a fucking Rooney. Oh, I screwed the pooch on this one, didn't I? Wow. Not right this second, Savannah. Yeah, give me a second while I fix all this shite. See, that's not what I'm trying to do here. And then it fucks up again. Oh, jeez. Yeah, fucked it up again. I don't know how to do that. Huh. Alright, well I guess you're just gonna go over here. You're gonna go in here, and you're gonna go in here. Actually. Yeah. All right. Now we're done with that fiasco. So, all right. Now that we're done with that fiasco, working with web components here today. I actually just created a little dependency management system, and it's pretty dope. So, just saying, I'm pretty cool. Okay, I'm a pretty cool guy. Wow. Good. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Rimwrap. I'm going to create a link. To node, add an error. Add an error core. Should I do lib? Yeah, I should probably do lib. Oh, that's a rip now, ain't it? Yeah. I always get the syntax of this fucking command backwards. Oh, rip. What did I just do? What did I just do? Oh my god. So I did have it correctly. Why the fuck was it doing that? I want add an error core lib point to present working directory. Add in there. Good. Let's do that again in modules. Good. Now we got add an error there. Export. Cool. Which means that we can, oops. Alright, so this should import out in there now. Actually should. Oh. Import it. Yeah, it probably should. Even though we have an inversion control, I just want to create a capping. No. There we go. All right. So, we're going to start from scratch with this, and then borrow from over here. going to create a weak map. I forgot how to initialize my own. Oops. Project. Actually, why am I doing this over here? Could. Just hop on over there. Add an air, add an air. No, source. That's right. That'd be interesting. So I use weak maps for private variables. And basically the way the weak maps work is so, you know, you've got a map, right? And a map is key value pair, right? So you have a string as the key, and then you can make it equal to anything, right? And it's just a big list of keys that have different values, right? Right? So a weak map is where instead of a string of text as the key, you can actually make the key an object itself. And then you can essentially say whenever you can essentially say if you can, how do I put this? So you have a weak map, but the keys are actually objects. So when you pass it an object, it will give you the value that you have stored that's associated with that object. Does that make any sense? Crickets. Figured. Yeah, I don't exactly know how to explain that. So, I usually do that for private variables, where I set the key to the current instance of the object, and then I set the value to just a list of a bunch of variables. I didn't think about it before, but you could technically kind of quote-unquote abuse that for creating like private methods as well, which is kind of an interesting concept. Yeah, I feel lonely and neglected. No one's on my damn stream. Nobody ever watches my stream. I just stream for the sake of streaming. So a map is key value pair, and you map a string to any value. A weak map, uh, uh, a weak map is where instead of a string as the key, you use an object, an instance of an object as the key, and you map the instance of an object to any value, right? Right. It's a reference. Yeah. Right. And so I use that for private variables because I create a weak map within the scope of the class, and then every single time I create a new instance of the class, then I add an element onto that weak map whose key is the current instance of the object and whose value is just a list of regular key value pairs. And because of that, no one can access this variable called private because it's only within the scope of this file. And the only way, and no class, each instance of a class doesn't know about other instances of the same class, right? So the only possible way to get this specific object for this specific instance is if you are the actual instance. So in other methods where I want to, like for instance, if I did like a get add an error, I can return private.get this dot add an error, right? Because the private.get this returns this object here because I've tied this object to this instance. Does that make sense? Yes. So, yes, exactly. So I can say like foo_bar_baz. Oh. So in this case, I've added an error null, and right. So whenever you do your dot set, right, you have this is what the key is going to be, and comma whatever the value is. So this could technically be like foobar, right? And then if I were to do a private dot get this, I would get back foobar. But instead of that, I'm setting it to an object, and that way I can store hidden information that only the current instance of this class can access. Because no one else can get access to this private variable not because it's named private, but because it's within this file. So unless you're in this file itself, you can't gain access to this variable. Not only that, other instances of this class don't know about the other instances of the class, right? So they're only ever going to get their version of this object. Yeah, so, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. But the other thing that I just realized is that if you have a method, for instance, like set super secret var or something like that, or initialize dangerous thing, right? And you don't want people to just call this willy-nilly. What I just realized is that I could just define it here as a function. Right? And then anytime I wanted to call it, I could just have a regular init function, right? And then if I wanted to call it, then I would get that quote unquote method from the private variable, and then I would call it. And then no one else's, yeah. Yeah. Yep, right. Yeah. And then no one can accidentally or purposely call this function. But if I made it its own method here, then anybody would be able to do, anyone would be able to call this at any point in time outside of the class. They would just be able to do like my instance dot, initialize dangerous thing. But if I remove it from here and I add it to the weak map, then this will fail because there's no such thing. In fact, I should if I do this. Yeah, see? It actually errors out and it's like, you can't do that. That doesn't actually exist on the class. Because it doesn't exist on the class. It exists on this object that we are tying to the instance secretly. Yeah. So yeah. So the reason why it's actually called a weak map is because, again, it's basically, it's a map, right, where the object is the key, and then you have, some value here, right? But what's happening is this here, let me get rid of all that crap. This here is not a, it's not a strong reference to the object. It's a weak reference to the object. And that's why it's called a weak map. Because, for instance, if I were to do, if I were to create a weak map, right, and I do new weak map, and then I were to create an object here, right, and if I do my weak map set my object equal to foobar, and then I delete my object, the actual reference and the key value pair inside the my weak object gets garbage collected and thrown out. So this here ceases to exist within the function, and that's great because if at any point in time this instance is all references to this instance are gone, then we don't have a bunch of data hanging out in this weak map that's just sitting there taking up space and taking up memory, right? So it's automatically garbage collected. So that's why it's called a weak map. It's called that because it holds a weak reference to an object that's garbage collected automatically whenever the any other reference to the object is when all other references to the object are removed. So pretty interesting. So it's my new favorite little toy. Alright, so we're going to want to first of all, I'll set this at the end. So I actually already know what I want to do here. As soon as it's initialized, we're just going to want to render based on the path name. What happened?
Can you not hear?
Nope.
I joined us last week a million times. Did you not hear that either?
Still can't. No. Your thing is showing up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me if you can hear if I leave.
No, I didn't hear that. No, it's probably me then.
Yeah. So I was thinking if I just left and came back a million times this year. But,
Yeah, no, I think it's me. It's me. I have no audio at the moment. Spotify, I can't even hear Spotify. Rip-a-roonies, I have lost audio.
lost Theo.
See if I can get it back here. You know what I might have done?
What?
I might have hit a keystroke that muted.
We're talking about I'm getting really good at editing videos.
I'm terrified right now. Any second now, I'm going to hit the correct keystroke and the volume's going to turn back on. And it's going to be blaringly loud. PA. Oh my goodness, so many sinks and modules. Fuck! Forgot my volume up command, or, key. What was that? Notify grab. What is that? Come on. It's one of these. That's lower volume. That was lower volume. Alright, so pretty sure that was a mute. Say something? Yeah, still can't hear you. Yeah, still can't hear you. Huh. Well, ain't that a rip in your shorts? Yeah, I am all jacked up with audio here. Oh, and my video cut out too. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, everything's fucking. Test. Okay. Um. Hmm.
Testing. Test. Test. Yeah, I just have no audio. Say something? Yeah, I may need a restart. I don't know what it is. Ripperoo.